In their estimates, they had between 1.5 million and 2.2 million people in the United States succumbing to this virus. Yet through their detailed studies and showing us what social distancing would do, what would happen if people stay at home,
yeah,
and it takes us to that.
We need you there covering this as soon as possible.
100 to 200,000 deaths, which is still way too much.
Wait, did she just say 200,000 deaths minimum?
We need you there like yesterday.
Yep, nope, got it, on it. Heather! Heather! Hey, I gotta go. I'll be back.
Where are you going?
Work.
Please don't go into the city.
Honey, that's where my office is.
Well, wear gloves, wash your hands, and do not take the train. Drive.
Okay, all right.
Just call me when you get there.
It's gonna be fine.
But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Okay, everyone, to the cellar. To the cellar quickly, please, but be careful. Everyone to the cellar. I'll get the door.
What's up?
Hey, they're gonna be putting everyone up here tonight, so don't wait up.
What's going on?
The new projections for the COVID-19 are insane. They just assigned me project chief and are headlining the article I wrote on the train.
You took the train? Yeah. Carson, I told you.
Okay, honey, did the boys kiss for me? I should be home in a few days.
Wash your hands. Be careful.
Okay, I love you. Gotta run, bye.
Love you too.
Let's get out of here. All right. Let's go. It's already over.
He's one here anyhow.
Is it over?
Calm down. Is it over?
No,
It's calm.
no, it's not over.
It's over. We can leave now. We can go. It's over. It's over. It's over. Let me out. Let me out. I gotta get out of here. Please. I gotta get out. We could die in here.
If we get out, it's coming back. Please, please, just stay calm. Stay calm, everyone. Please, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, for we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Hey, wait.
What? Wait.
Chris!
Hey, I gotta get out. Let me out. Let me out.
Patients he came into contact with after testing positive for the coronavirus.
I'm sorry I've been out so many days. We're going so hard right now.
How long have you had that cough?
What? Oh, I don't know. Just a couple of days, really. It got bad pretty quick. I think it's just allergies from the weather and.
Honey, you don't look good at all. Like, you should really. No, I think you should go somewhere and get tested, or
Honey, no, listen. It's just we're working 20-hour days, and I'm having to edit everybody else's pieces, and
I'm keeping my distance whenever possible. It's gonna be fine, honey.
It's all right, honey. I gotta go. I gotta try to get some sleep.
Can you at least call or text me tomorrow and let me know that?
Of course, as soon as I can. I promise, as soon as I can, honey. Okay?
Give the boys a kiss for me. Love you guys.
I love you.
I'll see you soon, honey, okay?
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. Bye, honey.
People might actually be saved. I am here at First United Methodist Church just outside of Shinston, West Virginia, the site where that tornado touched down several weeks ago. But now survivors tell us they saw an angel. Lieutenant Christopher Shannon Kennedy was from that small town and also a war hero that served in Afghanistan. Sadly, Lieutenant Kennedy was killed when his convoy was attacked by rebel forces. However, survivors say that he appeared that night in this church during the tornado and saved their lives. Back to you.
Carson, I've been trying to reach you for 3 days. I need you to interview Pastor Vincent down at First United Methodist about the tornado miracle. But don't screw this up.
Pastor Vincent? Pastor Vincent? Pastor Vincent? Pastor Vincent? Hello, is Pastor Vincent on?
Yes.
Okay, where?
He's in the cellar.
Pastor Vincent?
Back here, just putting away Christmas.
Is this a good time?
For what?
I'm the reporter. My office called. I'm here to interview you about the incident.
Charlie, this is Mr. Carson Campbell. He's a big-time reporter. Did you meet Charlie?
Yes, I did.
Do you mind to give Mr. Campbell and I just a few minutes?
Thank you, Charlie.
So, that Charlie, quite a kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he was a nice kid. Okay, so why were there so many people at the church that night?
Well, it was a Wednesday evening, and that's when we have our normal dinner and service.
Okay, but wasn't the church ordered to be closed?
Well, the governor didn't make that announcement until the next day. I think most people came for the Last Supper.
I understand. But also the National Weather Service had issued a warning.
Well, This is a church, and if we have food and the doors are open, people will come. Yeah, we started the service, and well, the weather got worse, and we all hurried down to the cellar.
About 30 people.
Yeah, that's about right.
Then what happened?
I remember the siren. And then the weather got worse, and well, again, we went to the cellar, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we were pretty, well, I was scared. We don't get weather like that around here. Ever. The wind was so strong I thought it was gonna rip the doors right off the cellar, and then it stopped. We didn't know if we should open the doors, and people wanted out, but then he appeared.
Lieutenant Kennedy?
Yes.
And he was in uniform?
Oh, yes. Head to toe.
Huh. Then what?
He blocked the door. People were pushing, and he was quiet. Calm. But people were scared.
But those people knew him?
Oh, yes. I mean, most everyone. That's what was so frightening, is that everyone knew he was dead.
Could I get some of the names of the people who were there for the incident?
Mr. Campbell, don't take this the wrong way, but what happened here, the incident, as you put it.
Wait, I'm sorry, did I offend?
Do you believe in miracles?
No.
Do you believe in God?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you even know why you're here?
Yeah, American war hero killed in action a year ago, returns to his hometown in West Virginia, saves the lives of church parishioners during a tornado.
Okay. I get all of that, but there's a little more to the story.
Like what?
Mr. Campbell, don't think me rude, but the people around here, well, they believe what they saw, and they believe what they believe.
Don't we all?
Do we?
I believe this could be a story of hope and inspiration. You know, post-corona, after all the fear and death.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe I might know 3 people that'll speak with you, Mr. Campbell.
Great. You can call me Carson, by the way.
Carson it is.
All right.
Who are you?
Excuse me, sir. My name is Carson Campbell. I'm a reporter writing a story about your son. Sir?
I'd offer you a beer, but you know, I'm not sure it's allowed.
Okay. So, Lieutenant Kennedy, he received a Purple Heart?
Yes.
And he served 2 tours in Afghanistan?
Yes, he did.
Well, maybe you could talk a little bit about his childhood. Was this the family home where he grew up?
It was. Chris grew up here when he was a boy. His mother and I raised him here. See that pond over there? When Chris was a boy, we'd fish that pond. And every year, we'd stock that pond, and every year we'd catch them all.
And your wife?
She passed.
I'm sorry, sir. So that night of the storm, now did you see him?
I did.
And he blocked the door?
Yes, it took some effort, but he kept us inside and kept us safe.
And you're sure it was him?
Do you have children, Mr.?
It's just Carson, sir. Yes, sir. 2 boys. They play soccer, build pillow forts, and well, they just mean the world to us.
Chris played soccer. I remember those days. We'd practice every other day, just chasing the ball back and forth, back and forth.
So, you're sure that it was him?
There's not a day goes by. You know, I was working on the house when the police car drove up. I knew then, you know, when you see a police car drive up to an old country home, I knew I used to pray. I used to pray every day to see my son again. And God seen it fit. And in the cellar of that house that night, I seen my son. I touched my son. And to answer your question, Mr. Carson, yes, I seen my son that night.
Did he say anything?
He didn't need to.
So, when the storm came back?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Some say we passed through the eye. Some say he just came back long enough to keep us safe from the storm. I don't know.
And then, after everything was safe?
I never seen him again.
Did you look for him?
Of course, I chased after him. You don't understand, but you will. You know, all I needed that night to get me through was to see my son. That's all I needed to get me through.
Through what?
The virus, of course.
Hello. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Are you, Sophia Denava?
Yes, that's me.
I'm a reporter. I'm covering the story of the storm. Actually, really more covering the story of Lieutenant Kennedy.
I knew it wouldn't take long before our story got out. Aren't you Carson Campbell?
Yes, ma'am.
It's nice to meet you. I followed all of your stories during the pandemic. That was so brave.
Well, it was a crazy time.
That's true.
Did you know Lieutenant Kennedy?
We were friends. We were high school sweethearts. I loved him very much.
Could you tell me more about him?
The kids will be back from recess soon, but I have a few minutes. Have a seat.
Okay.
So Chris and I went to high school together, which is where we first met. And we had a recruiter come to the school. Soon after, he signed up.
Do you know why?
This is a small town in West Virginia, Mr. Campbell. If anyone is offering an adventure and a college education, he was in. We were so proud.
We?
The town. They thought about putting him in the Christmas parade.
So, tell me what you remember most about the night, the night of the storm.
So, I normally don't go to church on Wednesday nights, but it was really windy out too. When I got home, my power was already out, so I thought I might as well go. I don't know if you know this, but they serve dinner on Wednesdays.
I heard.
Yeah, sure. So, we ate, and I don't think we even got through the first song before we were being ushered down to the cellar. It was so cold and windy, and gosh, it was loud. People started to panic. They were screaming and crying, but then we prayed, and I guess some people thought it was over because they wanted to go. But then he showed up.
But it was dark.
Oh, it was dark, but there were flashlights.
Oh.
It only lasted about a minute. People were pushing at the door, people were screaming, people were crying again. But all I could do was just stare at him and yell his name. I wasn't really sure why he was there, but then I felt like he looked right at me, and I knew. I just knew.
Knew what?
That he was there to give us a message.
What message?
Message of peace. Message to be prepared.
Prepare for what?
I guess for some, to be prepared for loss. For others, maybe hope.
Well, then what happened?
The storm came back. But he just stood there, blocked that door.
Did you speak to him? You did. You spoke to him.
I speak to him every day.
Figuratively.
Have you ever been in love, Mr. Campbell? Have you ever lost somebody you loved?
Yes, I have.
Well, then you should know. Because I loved him so much, I feel like he's still here, like he's a part of me. It's like a piece of him is still here with me. And so I talk to him. I talk to him every day.
So, why do you think this story about Lieutenant Kennedy is so important?
People need to know what happened here. It's a crazy world out there right now, Mr. Campbell. People need to hear stories of heroes. And they need heroes to write them, too. My kids are coming back. I hope I helped.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you do afterwards?
After? You don't know?
No.
I was admitted to the hospital.
For what? Are you okay?
I'm much better now. Much better.
Thank you for meeting.
So I guess you're that reporter?
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, actually, first of all, I guess, why were you at the church that night?
I heard they had free food and I was hungry.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
But I never intended on being in the service.
Okay, but Lieutenant Kennedy, I mean, you were in the cellar, right?
So he came all this way to ask me something you already knew the answer to. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you believe in angels?
No.
How about ghosts then?
Maybe.
So, the storm was over, at least I thought it was. I was freaking out. Everyone was freaking out. All the screams. The pastor tried to calm everyone down with a prayer. As soon as he said amen, he just showed up. He didn't touch me or anything. I just knew I couldn't get out.
Well, then what?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what happened during the second part of the storm?
He just stood there.
Okay. Did you see him when you came out?
No.
Talk to him?
No.
Did he talk to you?
No.
Anyone?
No.
Why do you think he showed up?
To save us, maybe.
Did he?
Just because I was a drug addict. I was a person.
Was? Well, you're taking this wrong, sir.
See, I don't think so. When you get it, you'll get it. And you don't get it.
What do you mean?
You know, I think we're done here.
Thank you for your time.
Ghosts.
I thought I saw someone out here.
Sorry, I was taking one last look at that memorial for the miracle.
How was your day?
It's good. I interviewed everybody you told me about.
Good.
It wasn't very inspirational.
Oh.
The father was grateful. He's a very kind man. The girlfriend was in denial. And his friend, the one who had some hard times, I think he was paranoid.
Looks like we might get some rain. Why don't you stay for the evening?
You know, I think I would. I'd really like to finish this article before I head back, and my wife doesn't really like me to bring work home. You know we're under a quarantine.
Well, I think we'll be okay. There's an extra room at the parish. Maybe you'll find that inspirational twist you're looking for tomorrow. Well, welcome.
Wow. Interesting reading.
Well, please excuse the mess. We're going to have to cancel our Easter service, so we brought everything from the church and dropped it here at the parish. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh, no, I think I'm fine. Is your wife here?
Oh, no, she's visiting with our son and our grandkids.
You, preparing for your sermon?
Oh, well, something like that. You know Revelation?
From the Bible? Yeah, a little. And the living and the dead will be caught up together with the angels in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we will be with the Lord forever. You think this can happen?
I do.
Dead bodies in the air, dead bodies in cemeteries all over the world, people vanishing?
Well, I believe that God prepares us when things are going to happen that are bad. And I mean, just look at the history of the Bible. I believe that God loves his people so much that he forewarns us. He prepares us for the bad times we're about to face.
That is, if you believe in God.
Yeah. You know, I am going to have that cup of coffee. Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I think I'm fine. I'd like to go to the room and look over my notes. I really want to get started on this article. We're under a very strict deadline.
Fair enough. Down the hall. Last door on the left. Bathroom's on the right.
Thank you. And the living and the dead will be caught up together with the angels in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Do you think the coronavirus pandemic is a precursor to the rapture?
I'm sorry?
The people that I met today, I assume most of them go to your church. They all spoke somewhat of a forewarning philosophy.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Maybe a little.
Well, think of it this way. It's a new year. Economy's booming. Life is good. Then this virus comes along and it forces us all into our homes. Schools, churches, businesses, all close. Not to mention the fear and, well, the real deaths that followed. I just think the coronavirus, well, it shocked our system.
But you think the virus is a precursor to the end times?
No, I don't. But I do think it got our mindset ready. The coronavirus, it showed our world, our civilization that, well, we're vulnerable. Hope is equal fear. Uncertainty is the new norm. I just think our systems will be less shocked next time. Think about it. 100 million people just disappear in the rapture. Would we be frightened, or will we just explain it away?
I don't know. That's a lot of people. Any way you look at it, it sure is strange times we're in. Why did you choose those 3 people for me to interview?
Well, you guys have a lot in common.
Like what?
COVID-19.
I mean, we're all affected by the virus. But what about the others who were in the cellar?
Well, most of them don't believe. But the 3 people you met today, well, you know, they're all victims.
But you did see him?
Oh, Lieutenant Kennedy. Oh, yes.
Why do you think he showed up?
I believe he came to warn us.
Warn who?
All of us.
You mean like his father, his high school friends, you?
Them? You? Me?
Me? I don't have anything to do with that, Pastor. I'm just here to write a story.
Okay.
No, seriously, why would you say that?
You really don't know, do you?
What?
Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days. But be faithful, even to the point of death, and I will give you the crown of life.
What are you saying? Okay, you're really starting to freak me out. Who are you?
I'm one of the others.
The others?
Do not take the train.
Did you wear a mask and gloves? You're around people that are sick.
You don't understand, but you will. What? The virus, of course.
When you get it, you'll get it. And you don't get it.
I was admitted to the hospital.
For what? Are you okay?
I'm much better now. Much better. Have you ever been alone, Mr. Campbell? Have you ever lost somebody you love?
You guys have a lot in common.
Like what?
COVID-19.
They're all dead. They died from the virus. Like me.
Mrs. Campbell, I'm so sorry. We have your husband's remains, but the funeral restrictions are very strict. Most of the families are opting for cremation and then a service after the pandemic.
But we never talked about that, so
I understand. The health department is putting pressure. We're at full capacity. Bodies. cremation is really the way to go. And then maybe in the next couple months we can help you with a service.
So what am I supposed to do between now and then?
We will hold the ashes, or you can hold them.
I'll take them, I guess.
If you'll just wait in the lobby, and I'll have them out just a Jeff.
Now?
It'll take 20, maybe 30. All I have to do is push a button.
Carson, are you okay?
So much for my story. What do we do now?
I don't know. Just days after the storm, the miracle people, they all started getting sick. Closest hospital is about 45 minutes away, and well, that first week we lost 3 people. And the next week 5. I put off funerals for a while, social distancing, and when you showed up, and I don't think you being here is a coincidence.
Last night when you said the devil was testing us for, 10 days? But if that we were faithful, God would give us life and a crown. What was that?
A verse from Revelation.
The end times chapter?
Yes, but the verse is really more about our walk with Christ, our spiritual journey.
Maybe that's what this is.
How do you mean?
People want closure. This virus, it came like a thief in the night and stole lives, one right after the other. And now we're expected to go back to normal. People want closure. Right after my mom died, I was just a little kid. It was hard. I used to think she was in heaven crying because she was sad. And now I'm on that side, and I'm heartbroken. I miss my wife and my sons. Maybe I'm here to help the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who are looking for closure. How do we do that? I came here to write a story about inspiration and hope. Maybe if we go find that hope, they'll come.
You might just be onto something.
Three people, three different stories. I didn't understand then, but I do now. Pastor Vincent sure loved his people. I'd never seen anything like that before. He delivered food. Showed his respect to first responders. They made masks of the community. They exercised. Pastor Vincent showed us that we are all God's children, valued and loved. This was hope. This was faith in action. Anything he could do to spread hope, he did. Anything he could do to let people know he cared, he did. You see, the story I was writing wasn't about what happened. It was about what people did. It was about hope.
Boys, it's time to get up.